Join Kids Hut family. Tia, today our teacher spoke to us about putting others first before our own needs. That's very nice. Tell me something, Tia. Even if it makes them unhappy, do people put others before their own needs? Some people who have a really nice heart do. I remember the story of the happy prince. Do you want to hear it, Tofu? Yes. Once upon a time, a beautiful golden statue of the most beautiful smiling prince stood in the town center. It was covered with gold leaves and had eyes made of blue sapphire. It had a huge red ruby on the hilt of its sword. Everyone who ever saw the happy prince fell in love with it. The baker, whose flour had just fallen on the floor, saw it and said,
"Oh, happy prince, I wish I could always be happy like him. From now on, I will."
The schoolgirl, whose mother wouldn't buy her ice cream, saw the happy prince and said, "Oh, the happy prince! I wish I could always be like him. From now on, I will." At the same time, in the forest near the city, a swallow asked his new bride, "My love, all our friends have left for Egypt for the winters. There, they will see the Pharaoh's palace and bask in the sun in the royal gardens. They will enjoy many fruits and berries of different kinds. We must join them there." But his bride just nodded her head to say no. "We will come back after the winters. You must let go of your attachment with this home and dwelling." Bride again nods no. "You are being foolish, my new bride, but I must go. My friends wait for me." And so the swallow flies away. After a whole day of flying, he is halfway through the happy prince's city and then begins to feel tired. "I think I will rest the night here and start again for Egypt tomorrow. This golden statue is very beautiful. I will rest between his feet." Just as the swallow was about to sleep, a large drop of water fell on him. "What? Where did this come from? The sky is clear." Just as the swallow was getting ready to sleep again, another large drop of water fell on him. When he looked up, he saw that the prince was crying. "Who are you?"
"I am the happy prince."
"Why are you crying then?"
"I lived in the city palace once. I was always happy. I had no reason to be sad because I knew my people were happy too. When I died, they made a golden statue of me and put me here. From here, I can see the sadness of my people, and my heart, though it's made of lead, feels sad."
"What do you see, a golden prince?"
Far away, I can see a seamstress. Her fingers are red and bloody from endless stitching. Next to her, on a bed, is a little boy. He is sick with fever and is crying out for oranges. But the seamstress doesn't have anything other than river water to give him. Oh, Swallow, take the ruby from my sword and give it to her.
No, no, I have to go to Egypt. I cannot stay. And if I go to the seamstress's house, I won't be able to reach Egypt.
Please, Swallow, the child is very thirsty.
Well, okay, I will go.
So the swallow took the ruby from the hilt of the prince's sword and flew to the seamstress's house. By the time he got there, the tired seamstress had fallen asleep on her working table. So the swallow kept the ruby on the table. Then he flew around the sick boy's bed, flapping his wings. I feel so much cooler. I think I must be getting better. By the time the swallow returned, it was the next night. I will now go to Egypt. But the prince was crying again. I can see a hard-working man filled with despair. He is a writer and must finish his next play soon. But he is tired because he has no food to eat. Won't you stay another night and help that man?
Okay, one night it is. Should I take another ruby to him?
Alas, I have no ruby to give him now. But my eyes are made of sapphire. Take one of my eyes.
No, no, I cannot do that.
But I order you to do so.
And so the swallow plucked out the prince's eye and flew away to the writer's house. By the time he reached there, the writer had fainted out of hunger and cold. The kind swallow put the sapphire on the writer's desk and collected dry twigs and lit a fire for the writer before he flew back to the prince. When he returned to the prince, it was the next night again. And once again, the prince was tearful. What is wrong, Prince?
In the square, I can see a match girl crying. All her matches have fallen into the gutter and got spoiled. No one will buy them now. She is afraid her father will be angry when she goes home without any money. Please, swallow, take my other eye and give it to her.
No, no, I cannot do that. You will become blind.
But I order you to do so.
And so the swallow plucked out the prince's other eye and took it to the little girl. The girl became very happy when she saw the stone and went home skipping. The swallow returned to the prince.
Now you can go to Egypt, my friend.
No, now I cannot go, my friend. I will stay here and become your eyes.
So the swallow stayed by the prince. Every day he would fly over the city and tell the prince the sorry tales he saw. The prince would then tell the swallow to pluck out a gold leaf from his body and give it to the poor people of his city. Soon there were no leaves left on the body of the prince. All that was left was his cold grey body. It kept getting colder as the winters kept setting in and the weather kept getting chillier. The swallow knew that he will not survive the season much longer.
My friend, it is time for me to go.
Finally, you're going to Egypt. Not Egypt, but towards death.
Isn't it like sleep after all? But before I go, can I kiss you?
I will once again be sad without you. Kiss me before you go. And so the frail swallow kissed the prince and fell at his feet dead. Suddenly, there was a loud sound like a crack. It was the sound of breaking of the prince's lead heart. In the morning, the mayor of the city crossed the statue.
What an ugly statue! And it has a dead bird at its feet too. Break it down immediately and put up my statue instead.
A few hours later, when the mayor's men broke the statue apart, they found the two pieces of the prince's heart, and they threw it into the bin next to the dead swallow. That's when God said to his angels,
Bring me the most precious two things in the world.
And they took the dead swallow and the prince's broken heart to God.
Well chosen, my angels. From now on, the swallow will sing in my heaven, and the prince will praise my ways.
So you see, Tofu, even if you forgo some happiness by putting others before you, there are always better things waiting for you.
Yes, Tia. Now I understand what my teacher was talking about.
Tia and Tofu are going on a school trip while traveling in the bus.
I am so excited, Tia. This is my first school camp. It'll be so much fun.
Tofu, I know you are excited, but you should remember what parents told us. We have to be safe and careful throughout.
Tia, I am a big boy, and this is my first adventure. I'll be cautious throughout, I promise. I am so happy we are going together. La 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 la.
It's a camp, Tofu, so I don't want you wandering around alone at all. We'll have lots of fun, but we'll stick together and be like a team. Like Batman and Robin, like Hansel and Gretel.
Hansel and Gretel? I haven't seen that movie.
It's not a movie, little one. It's a story of two siblings, just like us. I think this is the best time for me to tell you this story. So, sit tight. Hansel and Gretel. Once, a poor woodcutter had a son and a daughter named Hansel and Gretel. One day, they get an evil stepmother. One night, the stepmother tells the woodcutter,
"The kids eat too much. We'll be starving soon. So let's leave the children in the forest and get rid of them."
What are you saying? No!
But the wife was very persistent, and she kept talking until he was convinced. Hansel overhears their conversation. So that night, Hansel goes out and collects shiny white stones.
We'll find our way back home. Stop crying, Gretel. Hansel, tomorrow we are going to die. What do we do? Don't worry, we will survive. Good night, Gretel.
Hansel hides the stones and sleeps. The next morning, the stepmother takes the kids to the forest. Hansel keeps dropping stones on the ground, thinking, "We can follow these stones home."
Children, wait by this big tree. Just sit quietly here and I'll be back to get you.
But she never comes back to get them.
Let's wait for nightfall, Gretel. I dropped a trail of white stones all the way here. So, with the moonlight shining on them, we could get back home. I am so scared.
So at night, Hansel and Gretel follow the shiny stones out of the forest. The stepmother was secretly angry. A few days later, the stepmother again tricks the children.
Let's go have a picnic in the forest. Here, take this bread to eat later. We'll go in the morning.
This time, the stepmother locked their room at night, and so Hansel couldn't pick up any shiny stones. Next morning, on their way to the forest, Hansel crumbled his bread and left a trail of crumbs instead. Deep in the forest.
This looks like a good spot. You both can take a nap here while I go and cut some wood.
Hansel and Gretel knew she wouldn't come back again. They slept. And waited for nightfall again. When they woke up, the birds and wild animals had eaten up all the crumbs.
Now we will never find our way home. I am so upset for us, Gretel. Hansel, don't lose hope. Let's walk and maybe we find our home.
After walking the entire day, they find a small house.
Look there! A cookie house! Wow! Oh, the house is made of chocolate with a roof of cake and sugar windows. Come, come!
The hungry children didn't even stop to think.
I want a big piece of the cake roof. Yum!
Suddenly, they hear a voice.
Children, come inside. You seem hungry. I'll make you yummy food right now.
The lady was an evil witch. The kids go in the house with her.
It's a trap. I like to eat kids. I made this house to lure you in. Now I'll fatten the boy up and make a tasty treat for myself.
Her eyes were red. She had terrible eyesight, but a good sense of smell. She locks Hansel in a cellar. She makes Gretel do all the housework, all the chores. Hansel and Gretel cried and begged, but she had no mercy on them.
Come on, girl. Cook something delicious for your brother. He should be fat enough to be cooked by the end of this month.
A week passed. Hansel ate delicious food, while Gretel was always hungry. Every morning, the old witch went to Hansel's cellar and shouted,
Show me your fingers, boy. Let me check how much fatter you've gotten.
But Hansel would always stick out a little bone for her to feel, because the witch couldn't see very well. She was furious that Hansel was staying so thin. One day, she lost her patience and shouted at Gretel,
I don't care anymore. I'll cook thin Hansel today and eat him anyhow. And start the oven.
Gretel had no choice, and she started doing what the evil witch told her.
Now get in and see if the water is boiling enough.
How can I get inside the oven? Please show me so that I can check the water.
Stupid girl. What is wrong with you? It's so easy. Look, you just need to step here and...
Gretel cleverly pushed the old woman in the oven and shut the door. The vicious witch burned to a crisp. Gretel rushed to the cellar and set Hansel free.
Hansel, my dear brother, the witch is dead. Now let's run out of here and find our home.
How happy they were! While running out of the house, they saw wooden chests all over in the witch's room. They were filled with gems and gold. The children filled their pockets with as many gems as possible and left the house. Hansel and Gretel walked for a few hours when they got to a bridge that they knew well and was close to their house.
Look! Father! Father!
Hansel and Gretel could finally see their father at the porch, looking miserable because his wife had died.
My dearest children, I'm so happy you both are alive. I am sorry for letting you go.
The three hugged, and precious gems started to fall out of Gretel's pockets. Both the children emptied their pockets in their father's lap. They told their father about the evil witch and how they got her treasure.
Oh my God, I am happy my kids came back safe. I will never leave you alone now.
Finally, they could have a carefree life and lived together, happily ever after.
Ooh, witches are scary. We are about to reach the forest camp very soon. Don't leave my hand when we go hiking in the forest. I want us to be like Hansel and Gretel. I promise not to go anywhere alone. Does this forest have a cookie house or a witch, Tia?
Tofu, it's just a story. Hansel and Gretel shared an adventure like a team. Don't worry about any witch. It's just a camp. I hope we find a cookie house like Hansel and Gretel.
Cookie house, yum! That sounds wow! I am hungry now. Give me the chocolates from the bag, Tia, please.
Tofu, stop throwing snowballs at me! Stop!
But that's how I play with snow. I love making snowballs.
Tofu, it's 5 days to Christmas. Come, I'll help you make a snowman.
No, we made a snowman last Christmas also.
Harry will be upset then, Tofu. Don't you want Harry the snowman to be happy?
Harry? The snowman? Who is he?
I'll tell you Harry's story if you help me make a big, lovely snowman.
Okay, Tia. Tell me the story and let's start making Harry also.
Harry the Happy Snowman. 5 days before Christmas Eve, Santa was working out in his gym, practicing his technique of dropping down through chimneys without getting stuck. Santa has quite a possibility of that. Suddenly, one of his reindeers, Donda, came running in. He seemed rather distressed and worried.
Santa, Santa! Harry the snowman has run away! I am panicking!
Calm down, Donda. There is nothing to worry about. I will personally sort out Harry's problems and bring him back home safe and sound. Donda, alert the elves and begin a search whilst I head back to my sleigh.
Santa took off to the skies to find Harry. One place, as he looked down, he saw Harry alone in the snow, heading away from Santa's village.
Harry! Harry! Can you hear me?
Santa pulled down and landed just beside Harry. But Harry ignored Santa and kept walking.
Jump aboard, Harry. Get back in. Harry!
But Harry kept on walking away. Santa shouted again.
Harry, please listen to me. Talk to Santa.
Harry slowly turned around, looked at Santa with tears in his eyes.
Harry, my dear, there comes a point in everybody's life when you feel like running away. But that is not the answer. That's not the right thing to do. Please tell Santa your problems.
Harry looked at Santa and broke down.
No one ever listens to me. No one has time for me. Why me? I am just a stupid, worthless snowman. Nobody loves me.
Harry, my boy, you are not worthless. Dry your eyes, wipe your face. Come, I want to show you how important you are. Jump aboard, Harry. Ho, ho, ho.
Harry looked at Rudolph. He had his head hung low.
Rudolph, my boy, take to the skies, I ordered. Let's prove to Harry how important he really is. And off we go. Ho, ho, ho.
As they traveled around the world, Santa showed Harry millions of snowmen, all built by children having fun with the help of their family and friends.
Look, Harry, building snowmen bring people together. Harry, imagine a Christmas without a snowman. It'll be incomplete. No fun. Imagine our family without you. Rudolph, take us home. I command. Let's go.
While the mood changed in the sleigh and everybody was happy, they approached the North Pole.
Look, Harry.
They looked down from the sleigh and could see written in the snow in huge letters, "Welcome home, Harry. We love you." Everybody from Santa's village was there too to welcome Harry back home. This made Harry so happy. Everyone clapped for Santa.
Harry could have made a big mistake by running away. But that is not the answer. Just talk to someone and you'll find the ones who have time for you and who truly care. Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas, Tia. Merry Christmas, Harry. We all love you. Always be happy.
Now go inside and get some carrots. Let's give Harry a big nose.
Let me call all my friends to play and tell them to make more snowman. More friends for Harry.
Head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. Head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. Eyes and ears and mouth and nose. Head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. Head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. Head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. Eyes and ears and mouth and nose. Head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. Head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. Head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. Eyes and ears and mouth and nose. Head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. Head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. Head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. Eyes and ears and mouth and nose. Head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes.
Our gardener is so rude. I am never going to talk to him again. Maybe you should try to be nicer to him, Tofu. Perhaps he has no friends and feels lonely. Yes, he doesn't talk to anyone. Hence, he has no friends. Why would anyone talk to someone who doesn't talk to them? That's not what Heidi did. Who is Heidi? Heidi. There lived a little girl called Heidi. she lived with her aunt in the village. Once it happened that Heidi's aunt had to go to the big city for work. She would be gone for a long time, so she decided to leave Heidi with her grandfather, who lived alone on the mountain. Heidi's grandfather, a carpenter named wasn't a friendly person because of some experience in his past. He didn't like to talk to anyone, and that is why he lived all the way up in the mountains. And now Heidi had to live with him. Bye-bye, Heidi. Be a good girl.
Bye, Auntie. Hello. My name is Heidi.
Heidi waited a while, hoping that her grandfather would talk to her. When she realized he wasn't going to, she decided not to disturb him, and instead she went out to see the mountainside. She had never seen such vast lands of green. She fell in love with her new home immediately. She lay down next to a bed of daffodils under the open sky and smiled to herself. That's when she heard the goats with bells around their neck.
Oh, hello. Where did you come from?
I brought them here to feed, like I do every day. Where did you come from?
Hello, my name is Heidi. I have come here to stay with my grandfather.
Hello, Heidi. My name is Peter. Old Grandpa is your grandfather? He often helps us with furniture and maintaining the barn. In turn, my grandmother bakes bread for him.
You live here with your grandma, is it? Can I meet her?
Yes, come with me. And so Heidi went with her new friend to his house to meet his grandmother. Peter's grandmother was very loving, and although she was blind, she loved to talk and cook. She was very happy when Peter told her about Heidi. Oh, that's wonderful. Come here, dear Heidi, and give me a hug. Are you hungry? Well, come, I will make you some special soup. Heidi spent the rest of the day at Peter's house and learned how to make special soup from his grandmother. Heidi asked her if, like Peter, she too could call her Granny, and she was delighted when she agreed. When it was evening, she said goodbye to them and went back to her grandfather's house. When she reached there, he was still working in his workshop. So Heidi went into the house. Sometime later, Heidi called out to him, "Dinner time, grandfather! Come, let's eat together." Old looked up in surprise. No one had made dinner for him in decades. He closed his workshop for the day, washed up, and went to eat. Heidi had made the lovely soup she had learnt from Granny. They ate in silence. And although her grandfather liked the soup very much, he didn't say anything. When dinner was done and the kitchen had been cleaned up, they both went out in the yard and sat under the stars quietly. After some time, Heidi started feeling sleepy, and so she kissed goodnight and went to sleep. Had not experienced so much love in many years, and so he sat there with tears in his eyes for a long time. Next morning, by the time Heidi got up, her grandfather was already in his workshop. She decided to go and be with him. Good morning, Grandfather. Heidi knew she wouldn't get an answer, so she decided to make herself busy. She swept the workshop, filled fresh water in Arm's jar, and to surprise kissed him and went out to feed the hen. When it was about afternoon, she served a lunch of mashed potatoes which she had learnt to make from her aunt. Later, she went to Peter's house to spend time with Granny and returned in the evening to serve dinner. This went on for many days. Every morning and night, she would kiss her grandfather on the cheek and wish him. She would clean his workshop and fill fresh water in his jar. All this love and care that Heidi gave him changed Arm's behavior. He loved having Heidi around and enjoyed it very much when Peter and Granny came by to visit her. One day, upon Heidi's insistence, he even took her to the village. They bought a pair of shoes for Heidi. On the way back, they bought candy floss. Throughout the trip, Arm laughed and played with Heidi. All the villagers were surprised to see this change in the old carpenter. 2 years went by, and Heidi and Arm were very happy in each other's company. Till one day, Heidi's aunt returned. She wanted to take Heidi with her to the big city. The man whose office she worked in had a daughter, Clara, who couldn't walk. Clara always needed a wheelchair to go anywhere. Hence, she had no friends. Clara's father wanted Heidi to be Clara's friend. Grandfather, tell her I do not wish to go. I want to live here with you. But Arm didn't say anything. He knew that Heidi would have a much better life in the big city. And so Heidi left her grandfather, Peter, Granny, and the mountainside to live in the big city. She was straight away taken to the mansion where Clara lived. There she met Clara's father. He was a very kind and loving gentleman who loved Clara very much, but often had to travel a lot for business. During these times, he left Clara in the care of her grandmother and a rather stern housekeeper.
Hello, Heidi. I am Clara's father. I wanted to thank you for coming here. I am sure you will like living here with Clara. If you ever need anything, please let me know. Now come, I will take you to Clara's room.
When they entered Clara's room, Heidi saw a beautiful girl, maybe 2 years elder to Heidi, sitting on a wheelchair. She was very pretty, but she was frail and seemed sad. The housekeeper pushed the wheelchair forward towards Heidi.
Clara, this is Heidi. She will live with us now. I will see you both in the evening now. Bye-bye.
Saying so, he and Heidi's aunt left to attend their business. For a while, Heidi didn't know what to say to Clara.
My friend Peter has many goats. Sometimes I can't make out whether he controls the goats or they control him.
Hearing this, Clara also broke into giggles, and Heidi immediately knew that they were going to be very good friends. She started spending her whole day with Clara. She would tell her many tales of the mountains, while Clara would tell her about the different cities she had stayed in after her mother had passed away. While the housekeeper was very stern and always stopped the girls from enjoying themselves too much, Clara's grandmother was very nice. She even taught Heidi how to read. Everybody who met Clara now noted how happy she looked. One day, the girls went out to the market. As Heidi pushed the wheelchair forward, she saw a vendor selling daffodils. She was immediately reminded of home, her grandfather, Peter, and Granny. When they came back from the market, Clara asked Heidi,
"Wasn't today fun, Heidi? What do you think of my new bracelet?"
"Yeah, it's lovely." And so it went from that day. Heidi didn't want to play or sing with Clara, and she wouldn't read with Clara's grandmother. She wouldn't even eat unless was forced to. She would just keep doing her work quietly. She missed her home terribly, and her heart broke every time she looked out of the window and saw buildings and towers instead of mountains and sky. This went on till one day she felt terribly ill. Clara's father called the doctor right away.
Well, I am afraid she is homesick. She misses home. No medicine or treatment can make her better.
unless she goes back. I will immediately make arrangements to send her home." True to his word, Clara's father made sure that Heidi was back in the mountain at her grandfather's house in 2 days. Just the news of going back home had made Heidi feel better. And when she reached her grandfather's home, she ran to him and hugged him. Even Am was very happy to have Heidi back. "I am never going away, Grandfather." "You don't have to." "Grandfather, this is Clara. She is my friend from the city. She has come to stay with us for a few days." And that is Clara's father. As the two men shook hands, Peter came over. The children were very excited to see each other. "You must be Peter. Heidi has told me all about you. You must take me to your granny." Yes. Come, I will push your chair. Granny would love to meet you." After some time, Clara's father said goodbye to everyone. He would come back in few weeks to take Clara back to the city. The children waved him goodbye. In the next few days, the children had a lot of fun. Peter and Heidi would take Clara along with them everywhere. Peter would pluck fresh fruits for them. And they even showed her how to milk a cow. With the good food, air, environment of the mountainside, Clara grew stronger. So much that she even learned to walk by herself. Soon it was time for Clara's father to come and take her away. When he came, she surprised him by walking up to his carriage. "Oh, my darling, I am so happy." As they left, everybody was happy. There was no sadness in anyone's heart. "Bye-bye. I will visit you soon." "I will too. Goodbye. Take care." So you see, Tofu, when you are kind and loving towards someone, you can change their whole life. Yes, Tia. Thank you for teaching me this valuable lesson. Perhaps I will take some chocolates for the gardener. For your favorite rhymes, stories and more, join Kids Hut family. Subscribe here.